Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance medical copywriter, and today I want to talk to you about how anyone truly can live a laptop lifestyle. And laptop lifestyle, if you're not familiar with that term yet, it basically means that you are location independent or you can work from anywhere there's Wi-Fi. Another word that's thrown around a lot is digital nomad. And it's actually really funny because I have noticed that there's kind of an undergoing shift about this term where some people who are actually living that lifestyle kind of reject it and don't want to be called a digital nomad or whatever. It's kind of like being called a hipster. But either way, whatever you want to call yourself, it's one of those things that it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's just describing what you do, the fact that you can work for yourself and you can work from anywhere. And I actually, for the last 2 months, have been living in Bali, Indonesia. And you can probably hear the street noise because I am in my apartment right now and there's lots of mopeds. But being here, I worked in a co-working space and was surrounded by entrepreneurs. And what I've come to realize from being here is that truly this life is accessible to anyone who wants it. Because we now live in a time where there are so many resources and just the digital world has made so many things accessible to pretty much anyone who wants it, anyone who can get online, get the information they need. And there are so many different routes you can go. Every single day I meet someone here, they do something that I've never heard of before. And so what I've just come to believe and know is that there are so many different opportunities. One person I met, helps businesses on Amazon. Another person that I met makes presentations, just PowerPoint presentations for businesses. Another person I met writes technical articles for, medical companies. Another person I met created a skincare line. It's just 3 products and she sells it online with Shopify. And because the entry to so many of these businesses are minimal, meaning you don't need a lot of money and investment, like a brick and mortar store. Back in the day, if you wanted to start a store, you had to actually buy or rent a building and fill it with stuff. And now you just don't need to do that. You can create an online store, it can have 1 or 2 products, and you host it online. It costs you a few $100s. So the investment to get started in the online business is so much lower and more accessible. There are so many more resources. People are constantly telling their stories and sharing their stories and how they became location independent. And so there are tons of resources available online. In fact, there are lots of online courses in how you can do this. And then there's just so many different opportunities depending on your skill set, your interests. So some of my favorites are copywriting, obviously, because that is what I do. And I think copywriting is a great entry level location independent job because basically it's learning how to write like people talk. And you might think, okay, yeah, I know how to talk, so obviously I know how to write like I talk. But actually a lot of people when they start copywriting realize they have to fight some of their English classroom tendencies. And it can be pretty funny, but basically you're just unlearning all the formal talk and making it sound more enjoyable, more fun, more convincing. And so copywriting can be a ton of fun. Another one of my favorites is social media management because a lot of people, especially the younger generation who's really familiar with social media, you can basically just manage social media posts for a business. And that can be your job. And you just need a few clients. And then when you make that work, there you are, you're location independent. Another one is being a virtual assistant. And that basically is administrative work, working with people who have businesses. I have a virtual assistant. She is the most amazing person ever. I love, love, love working with her. And she gets to work from wherever too. So those are some of my favorites. There's also other things like coding and starting e-commerce and drop shipping. And there's just seriously an endless amount of opportunities. And the other thing that's really amazing about all of this is as you are learning and deciding what you want to do, and when you make that decision to become location independent, because that's all it is, it's just a decision. I made that decision for myself, as you're learning and growing, you're adding to your skill set and your knowledge base, and that is creating a foundation that you're going to just continue to build on and you're going to reap the benefits of as you go on in life. It's not like working for a business or getting a master's degree where you end up in debt. You can still end up in debt, but where you end up in debt and you're investing in a business that's not your own, you know? I really love that everything you do as an entrepreneur is passed back on to you. And that is just, to me, one of the most rewarding things. Another thing about living a laptop lifestyle or being a freelancer, for many people, not for everyone, but if you do client-based work like I do, where I have like lots of different clients that I write for, you're not actually going to have like the income rug pulled out from underneath you. Whereas when you work for a company, if they let you go one day, that is literally all of your money. But what happens when you're a freelancer and you have multiple clients is that you have multiple sources of income. And what happens is if one of those people leave, and they will leave, that always is going to happen as a freelancer. So when they leave, or, you know, they just have to end things, maybe because you didn't work well together, or maybe just because it was that time. It's not always like a bad thing, right? You don't lose all of your income at once. And to me, that has become one of my favorite things about being a freelancer. And so it's funny to me when people say like, oh, what you're doing is so crazy, you're so brave. And yes, I'm brave because I, am doing this unknown journey that doesn't have a clear-cut path, like, going to college and getting a 9-to-5. But I don't really think I'm that brave, because at the end of the day, I've set up a lot of things in my life to make it more secure. And I think it's scarier to have a job where you don't have multiple sources of income, and one of them can just get removed one day, or you can get fired one day or laid off, and that's it. And you have to find a whole new job, meaning you need to find a whole big company that can afford to take you on, as an employee. And they need to be a pretty big company to afford an individual salary, right? Whereas as a freelancer, I can work with small businesses who can't afford an employee, right? So they can only afford me on a monthly retainer, for example. So to me, it is the safer bet, because I'm not only investing in myself, but I'm betting on myself. And I know that if I continue to get up every day and invest in myself and invest in my business, I'm going to see the returns come back to me, and I'm going to have a more safe life, living a laptop lifestyle where I can go anywhere as I please, work from Bali, spend out a lot of time at the beach, learn to surf in the afternoon. And but at the end of the day, the real reason I wanted to hop on here was to just say that it is truly accessible, and there are so many opportunities in the world right now that just weren't even available like 5 years ago. If you are interested in location independent work, please keep digging. There's so many more resources out there than there were, and there's so many opportunities that are coming online every single day. So keep your head up, keep digging. You can totally build it on the side of your job, make it a side hustle, and continue to grow it until it becomes something that you feel confident in taking the leap of faith and, becoming a true entrepreneur and working for yourself. So I hope that helps. If you're on that journey, I hear you. It's scary, but I promise what you need, the resources, they're out there. You just got to keep looking. So thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed that, hit the thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. And if you are interested specifically in copywriting, you can find more in the links below. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week.